She looked almost worried or scared that I'm here. Everyone, this is Murka Feick, the new student from Boston. Try your best not to scare him too much. Mr. Mallet's attitude toward the whole situation of my transfer is refreshing, making it more of a joke than a big deal. Being new isn't really my favorite thing. The last thing I want is to be treated special just because I am new. I just raise my hand and offer a wave to the class. Hey. The small classroom responded in uniform toward me with a decent number of greetings, ranging from simple hello to waves. I'm going to go grab some coffee. I'll be back in a bit. We'll start classes. You have this time to finish any homework you didn't bother finish last night. You can take a seat down near the front of the room. I shadow her action, taking a seat beside her and setting my stuff down beneath the table. She leans in and murmurs under her breath as Malicious steps out of the classroom. If you have any questions during class, write them down and show me. Malicious gets irritated when people talk during his lecture. She pulls out a few pages of paper from a notebook and slides them across the table to me along with a pen. Although Yuko goes about shuffling through her organized belongings, leaving me to look around the room. Alex has managed to fall asleep in the small time Alex been gone, his face resting against the desk, body hunched over. He has even seemed a little drooling a bit. A few minutes pass and Mallet eventually make it back to the room with his coffee, which he sets down on the table Yuko and I are sitting at. Mallet has positioned himself up at the front of the class, looking over everyone with an investigative look. This must be Mallet's method of seeing how many people are actually paying attention. The sound of snoring catches my attention and glares over my shoulder to see that Eric is still snoozing. I hear a quiet tap nose in front of me, and I focus back on Mr. Mallet. His other hand is near his face with his lips telling me and the other student to stay silent as he passes out tables and slowly stops toward Eric. As he approaches Eric, the whole class falls completely sliding forth in curiosity. Mallet reaches into his pocket as he stands beside the blonde hairy student who has decided class would be a good time to catch up on his sleeping. He definitely pulls out a black marker pen and squeaks down to get on some eye level as Eric. He leans slowly over to Yuko, whispering as silent as I can. What is he doing? He's usually punishment for Eric falling asleep. My eyes dark black towards Miss Dalek, dexterously and gently pressing the pen to the area of the skin between Eric's nose and lips. The marker scraply quickly and forcefully getting a good amount of ink into Eric's pilthum before the smell and touch of the wet felt tip start to wake him. Eric stares strings only to lunge upward in shock as he realizes he has fallen asleep. Oh shit. Miss Malik quickly pulled away, hiding the marker in his back pocket as he looked over Eric with a tasty look forward. Sleeping in class again, Eric? Fuck, sorry, it won't happen again. The whole class is silent, Albert trying to contain their laughter. Good, can I start class now? The class finally breaks out into small laugh and giggles, and I can't help but grin a bit. Yeah, sorry. Eric's oblivious. I felt kind of bad for him in a way, but I guess Mr. Mallet doesn't take kindly to people slacking. It's a good first lesson for his class. Mr. Mallet swings back up to the front of the room, a small but entertained grin lingering on his lips as he paced to and forth in front of the board. It's kind of obvious he's doing his best to hold back a laughter, but Eric probably wouldn't cast onto it. After a few steps, he begins his class. Alright, well, start where we left off last week. His lecture is slow to start as he gathers his stuff. I don't even know what he's talking about for the first 5 minutes. It's kind of rambling, to be honest, but at least he sounds like he knows what he's talking about. Eventually he pulls his loose points together and constructs a pensive lecture filled with cultural and political commentary on the related subject, mostly having to do with renewable energy. Unusual, this topic will be boring, but Mr. Mallet does a good job of making it interesting as well as inclusive, pointing at people and asking them what they think on the subject or how they feel about his personal opinion. It gets to the point where he pointed at almost everyone, and because of this I've been able to sample each person's voice and in attempt to remember all the pitches and tone along with their ideologies. Although the person nearest to the back window has yet to be called on. The class moved along steadily, and before I realized the lecture, which was apparently nearly 3 hours long, has already finished, which means it's lunchtime. Most of the students immediately was out of the room as if they were starving or running from a monster. Can't blame them. I'll be hungry too if it wasn't so interesting in what Wallet was speaking about. Wallet returned to the back of the room and plops down at his desk to relax. Yuka turned to me as she collects her items. Will you like to get lunch? Sure thing, just give me a sec. I collected my own things and make my way to Mr. Mallet's desk, offering him my hand of gratitude for his class. Thanks for lecturing, it was a lot better than what I'm used to. He glared up from his computer and smiled, taking my hand and giving it a firm shake. Glad to hear that. You were a better listener than what I'm used to. We share a chuckle and a laugh slowly drains into a painfully annoying sign. Just don't end up like Eric or I'll do the same to you, no mercy, even if you're new. I can't tell if he half joking because of his tone, but his eye cut through me like a knife. His point is pretty clear. Don't dick around. Understood, it won't happen. The intimidating glare of his eye meshed back into a jerky, friendly look they had at the start of the class. Stay out of trouble, Marcus. Good first class. Hope your day goes well. Will do, thanks. As I turned to leave, I spot the figure who was sitting nearest to Melda's desk during class. She figures as she collects her things, awkwardly stumbled over her own hands. Eventually she stands up from her chair and turns around, gazing corner which make her freeze in place. Her eyes are celadon jade color with a serenity that looks suddenly disturbed by the stare we share. The eye contact lasted longer than a second, and she sees out the room. Remaining uncalled for today class, indefinitely. I'm pre-to-bit by the minuscule action of us looking at one another, but I feel almost guilty as if I had terrified her or offended her or something. Yuki gently passed my shoulder and gave my side a little knock, apparently having witnessed the brief exchange. She's shy, it wasn't you. Oh, alright. That is only a little reassuring. Hopefully I don't have to deal with more awkwardness encounter like that. I can figure her deal out later. For now though, it's time to eat. Outside is a little less hot compared to yesterday's sun shower. Sunny with a cold breeze and slight overcast blocking out the sun every now and then. Eric, Yuka and myself is sitting at a table eating our lunch. The food is delicious and actually cooked much better than anything I've had at my old school, not to mention the line was tiny compared to my old school. Baked chicken with rice and green beans is simple, but still tastes like gourmet cooking compared to a half-raw cheeseburger using meat paste like I'm used to. Elwick is stuffing his face, still having no idea about the drawing literally right under his nose. Yuki and I decide it's best for him to figure it out on his own, but it's hard to look at him without laughing or making a comment. So man, you gonna eat your rice? I was going to, yeah. Damn, what about you, Yoko? If you really want, you can have the rest of it. I'm not that hungry today. Yoko takes a few more bites before scooting her tray over toward Eric, who by this point has a stupid grin on his face. Eric eagerly pours the content of what had been on Yoko's tray into the container on top of his own. Thanks, I'm so hungry. While I stab a few green beans with my plastic stock, Yuka turns to look at me. Self-consciously I pause with the fork and a few inches from my lips. Being washed while eating is a little odd. What's up? Nothing. I'm just looking at you, sorry. Yuka laughed, attempting to give my left shoulder a small pat. Instinctively, I pulled myself away to custom to protect my left side from bumping into things for the past few months doing to incident. Yuka raised her eyebrows slightly at my reaction, pushing her lip inwards. Oh, sorry. Eric's chocolate from across the table is a little toothbrush mustache remaining in the place, accompanied by the new addition of rice kill scar along his mouth. He's a jumpy one. Yuka nods her head, agreeing with Eric's depression. Oh hey, Yuki, by the way, when are we going to start planning for harvest feast? Within the next few days. Right now, the school is setting up the very basis of it all, although I feel like we should done that when school first started a few weeks ago. And Eric peered his eye curiously toward Yuko, as if expecting something special like a treat to be tossed his way. Clean up after yourself, will you? Dismayed by Yuki's comment, He quickly nods and rubs his face with the palm of his hand, brushing away the rise of food scraps. The mustache remains, however, and the two of us can't help but laugh. All right, well, I'm go to the bathroom. Mind taking our trays while you're at it? Eric looks sternly to Yuka for a moment. Please, he signed before bringing down and grabbed all of our lunch trays. Alright, fine. Only cause Marcus is new. Yuka smiled, leaning against the table with her elbow flirtiously flirting her eyelash as Eric. Thank you, Eric. Yuka prologues her words in a teasing manner as Eric just rolls his eyes and takes off with our trays. It takes the moment to gaze out across the opening exposed of the school campus. There are clusters of kids walking about. Even some teachers are enjoying the particularly warm day. Mr. Malice is at a table a good distance away, sitting with Jay and a few kids. I don't know. The idea of having a friendly relationship like that with a teacher is a little strange. It's like the staff of the school is on the same playing field as the students, at least out of class. The food is tasty, the people are friendly, and the setting is pleasant. Today seemed nice, just as long as Matt doesn't break into my room again. I think I'll like it here after all. I'm interrupted from my daydreaming, however, when I spot the girl who was in my class last period. Her hair is jet black like Yuku's, but not nearly as long, but it does curl very faintly in a inward direction at the tip. She has a very smooth face with a blemish like on it, although her cheeks are flushed into a soft pink as if constantly embarrassed. The most striking thing about her, however, is the lack of pigment to the rest of her skin. She looks as pale as a ghost. She passes by quickly, making her way nervously toward the pathway to the dorms. I turn to look back at Yuko, who is looking at me with a contemplating face. After a moment's silence and her just looking at me, I can't help but make a comment. Just looking at me again. She blinks, realizing what she was doing, and laughs a bit, shaking her head. Oh, yeah, sorry, I was just examining. That sounds even creepier than just looking at me. She smirks, entertained by the fact I'm thinking examining me is strange. She stands up and sits her hand on my hips. You know, if you're having any question about anything regarding the school, you're welcome to ask me. You know, everyone is here like the back of my hand except for you. I know everyone here like the back of my hand except for you. She paused slightly. That's what I'm looking at you for. I got to memorize your look and get to know you. Well, I just offer a casual smile and think for a moment what I will really want to know about. The dark-haired girl who walks by seems innocent, but I am also got no clue what my next class is. The thing Eric monetized is also a good filler for conversation. What is a harvest fest anyway? Does this school have a garden or something? Do you know what my next class is? Since we are in the same homeroom, We share most of the same classes, so after this you will have English in the room to the right of Mr. Mallet. Oh, alright, thank you. Yuka wise and eyebrows, suspiciously, not believing I didn't have any more questions, probably because she saw me looking at Ellen. She opened her mouth to say something, but is interrupted by the sight of Eric plopping back down at the table. The marker mustache is rubbed away, and he looked just a tin obsessed. Seriously, why didn't you guys tell me? I remained silent, not wanting to step on any toes. I looked to Yuku with the hopes she'd be able to bail us out on this one. Yuko returned the look visually and smiled before switching her focus to Eric. Eric, you know better than to sleep in class. Mr. Mallet was only trying to teach you a lesson. You could have at least told me after I've been walking around like this all day. We could have, but then you wouldn't have learned any lessons. Eric takes a deep breath and signs, shaking his head in dismay. Fine, but if you guys don't back me up again, I'm gonna be really pissed. Sorry, dude. He glares at me and stares for a long moment before his tense look faded and gave me a regretful sign. It's cool, man. Mallet got me pretty good though, huh? Eric gave in to the light-hearted chuckle. He got me good, alright. I have to get him back somehow. It's class time again, and the sound of people buzzing about in the hall fills the school. Ooh. It's like a beehive with how little the main hall is, but luckily Yuku is around to lean me down the hallway into the conjunction of the 3 rooms. Our English class is in the room to the right of Mr. Mallet. Okay, that's easy. Excuse me, Marcus, could I have a word? Mr. Mallet stands in front of his door, gesturing me over as he opened it up and offered me to enter first. Oh, sure. Once inside, Mr. Mallet turned to me with a casual smile. How things first day going? Well, of course, everything's great. Good. I just want to compliment you on your behavior. You are the first student to ever give me a handshake after a lecture. Oh, I figured it was the least I could do for making the first class so interesting. I rubbed the back of my neck, stretching the muscle in my left arm as a small pain ping of my spine. Mallet seemed to notice my discomfort from the action of purses his lips. Just so you are aware, some of the teachers know of what happened to you during your junior year in Boston. Really? Now, I told my mother specifically not to tell the school because I didn't want to be treated differently due to events last spring. Oh. I suppose it does make sense they should know the school does have my medical history in case of allergies and stuff. I'll keep it on the down low. I know it's not something you probably want to talk to people about. He nods his head and hands me a folder with my name on it. The nurse doesn't actually show around often, but inside is a list of phone numbers in case you need any of the faculties. And in regards to your wound, I suggest that you don't do anything strenuous just yet. So don't try and pitch for baseball team or anything. Thanks, I appreciate. No, anyway, not telling everyone I don't plan on becoming the next Pedro Martins. Mr. Mallet smirks slightly at my joke. I like you, Marcus. You should fit in here just fine. He turns and sits down at his desk, letting out a soft sigh and peering at the clock as a computer before making a boom motion with his hands. Now, Scam, you'll be late for your second class. Alright, thanks. I'll leave his room glaring at the folder he gave me as I slowly approach the door of the English room. My hand wrapped around the handle at the door. I give it a light push, but instead the door swings open. Because of my grip on the handle, I tug forwards into the room and I trip. A blur of color filled my eye with a fall, and when I lift my head, it comes face to face with a very blonde haired girl with vibrant amber eyes. The two of us just staring at one another for a second or so before I realize I got my hands on either side of her body. The green eyes and peer back at me are surprised at first, probably because they don't recognize who I am, and probably because I'm on top of her. Shit, it doesn't take me long for her to get engaged off me. Who are you? Marcus. I'm the 20th student. Please tearing front office. I was going until this kid tried to molest me. I scrambled the grip on my things and stand back up, looking towards Elizabeth and then back towards the girl in an attempt to explain myself. It was a mistake. I tripped. Sorry. The girl just stared at me and I can't help but look over her. She has long, almost mango-looking blondish brown hair, green eyes, nearly nothing in the height department, maybe standing close to 5 feet or if that. A mistake, you fall on top of me. Front office now. The blonde-haired girl just make a sour expression before pushing past me without another word. Have a seat, whatever you want, Marcus. I'm sorry for your behavior. It's alright. I find you can sit down beside her, letting out a very relief sign. That was Tra-1. She grins and peers out of the door that Tyron had just appeared from. Tyron is very towering. What? Terrifying. Yeah. Joke. Terrifying. Yuko just leans back in her seat and settles her hand down into the table, scratching. She's a bit of a... Her voice fades out slowly as if she having a hard time finding the word she was going to use, only to murmur under her breath so that only I can hear her. A bitch. She nods comfortably, then sits back upright in her chair, looking to Elizabeth with a content smile. That's only a little subtle. Hey, well, she is. She proved it many times herself. She did seem a little like a bit of a habit, but I'm sure if I talk to her outside of class, she might not be so hostile. Elizabeth cuts out, clearing her throat. As I was saying, unfortunately, Feick has come down with the flu, so I'll be taking her position as the English teacher and language arc teacher until she recovers. Any questions? The woman is silent. Perfect. She left me with the assignment of letting you all free vote. What? Perfect. She left me with the assignment of letting you all free read or write for an hour, and then I'll be having a small discussion about character development. The class quickly goes to work with writing on laptops or on paper, other flitting through books or scrolling through tablets. The whole class has some form of brand electronic product, and I feel a little left out, not having anything aside from my phone. You could slide a book to me along the table and whisper under her breath, "If you want to read, here a good one." It was assigned as summer reading, but most of the class didn't bother doing it. I still enjoy it though. I nod my head in thanks, and because I have nothing better to do, I start to read, even though reading books has always been a trouble for me. Honestly, I just have a phobia of large blocks of text. If only people wrote in fragment sentence, maybe then someone could write a story about me that I could actually read. The class goes by a lot slower than I would have liked, and Elizabeth is far from a good of a teacher as Mr. Mallet, even if she is just a sub. What more painful is how my schedule is set up. I only have 2 or 3 classes a day, but they all exclusively long. I guess this school is about focus and productivity toward only a few things a day. Luckily, the book Yuka gave me is at least a little interesting. Man kan også bruge jule. Nice. It's about a man looking for a teacher for some reason, but instead he finding an ape inside an apartment building that can speak telepathy to people. The author sure had to be dope or up on some crazy stuff to come up with that.